And go.
I just want to give a shout out since we're starting to Mickey, because she's a brand new coach and she's like just busting her tail running her first group. I mean, like she just signed up like a couple weeks ago and is already running her first group. And yeah, she's just all about that life. I mean, she's just all in. She's all in. And
more people on the call tonight, but.
And she even like posted on her clean eating group, like, hey guys, sorry I fell off for a day, but I'm human and I'm just learning how to do this as I go along and I'm making mistakes. Like she said that to her challenge group. I'm like, how cool is that you were able, like confident enough in yourself to just go out and say, hey, sorry, I messed up. I didn't post anything yesterday or something, but I'm just learning how to do this myself.
Right.
I'm just super proud. I'm blown away that like so many people are just afraid to make mistakes. They do nothing. Like you'll learn as you go along what works and what doesn't work. Like posting this picture didn't work or posting this kind of recipe, nobody gave a crap. You know what I mean? Like you learn as you go along.
You do. And that's all about that's what the whole process is about. You know, neither of us is, knew everything, day one or now. I mean, it's all just a big, learning curve. And as long as you, just with everything, just with like your nutrition and your fitness and your team and everything, if you just are consistent about, getting a little better at one thing each and every day, imagine where you're going to be in next week, next month, a year, 2 years from now. It's just
like, I can't wait to see where she's going to be a year from now because she's ballsy enough to do anything. Like she's just posting and she's like just so actively posting in her groups and on Facebook and she's just trying new things left and right. I've never seen anybody go in so bravely. And I'm not like, if you want feedback here and there, like, hey, if it says someone else's website on the photo, like maybe crop out their website in the picture so you're not giving someone else credit. But other than that, like, no, everyone's just afraid to make mistakes, but that's how you learn.
Yes.
You don't learn if you don't just do it. Like, just do it. And she's just doing it. So I know, but you're just killing it and you're going to be really, really good. And you don't have that fear factor that everyone else has. Everyone's just so afraid to do anything because they don't want to do it wrong. Well, doing things wrong is how you learn how to do it better. Like you don't learn until you mess up. So you can't be afraid to make mistakes in this business. So, and that's what's cool is Mickey, I started reading You Are a Badass again. Listening to You Are a Badass, and that if you haven't listened to that book, get that book on audio. It's so freaking good. And it's been like a year since I listened to it and I forgot how good it was. I don't know why I do that.
I'm on my second time in like 3 months. So, and I'm getting something different from it this time. And then, yeah. So, and then next month I'm going to do a big giant open public book club for it. So
yeah, no, I love that. That's a great idea. I'll tag along with that too.
Yeah.
So challenge groups. Did you want to talk about Shakeology first?
We can talk about Shakeology. And I can talk about, So, Shako, obviously, it's huge for us to really dive in and continuously learn about Shakeology because it's such a huge deal. Not only in our business, but in our own health and fitness and our family's health and fitness in our lives. So I have just like from, when I first started Shakeology, obviously just like everybody else thinking it was a protein shake to now knowing that it just sits on a big giant pedestal of its own. And I think one of the biggest people that has taught me that is Shay Stanford. She's one of the top coaches in the company and just know an immense amount about Shakeology. And that comes from her past being a pharmaceutical rep and understanding, the pharmacokinetics of medications to begin with. And she just kind of dove into Shakeology with that. Look up her name, Seay, and then Stanford, just how you would think it would be spelled. And her YouTube videos are amazing. There was one that's about 45 minutes long. And I think the title of it is something like how to dispel myths about Shakeology or how to explain it or whatever. But and this is what's hit home to me, and this is what has helped me explain Shakeology to people more over the last month or two than it ever has, is all about how the diet cycle works. And this makes people relate to it so much because first I start saying, what? What are you poking?
I see it behind your head.
What? Oh, oh, yeah. So she talks about the diet cycle. And so first I obviously say that, people ask me what my favorite protein shake is. I'm like, well, my favorite protein shake is the Beachbody Recover protein shake. It's 20 milligrams of protein. It's the pomegranate extract that helps your muscles recover. It's great for after workouts, and guys can pair it with the creatine.
And Casey, can you tell Mickey like a little bit about your background and what you're going to school for?
Oh, I am a nurse at a local children's hospital, and I'm going to school for my master's in nursing, which is a family nurse practitioner, and my more than likely companion doctor, which kind of makes me sick to my stomach. So,
one day.
Yeah. So, anyways, I love the nerdy part of all this, but basically I tell everybody, that's my favorite protein shake. And then I'll talk about Shakeology, and Shakeology is protein, but it's also pre and probiotics that help with your digestion. It's adaptogens, it's vitamins, it's minerals, and every single thing in Shakeology comes from superfoods. There's no like weird package that they open up and like dump stuff in. There's no soy, there's no artificial flavoring, there's no artificial coloring, there's no artificial sweeteners. And I think that's the big thing that people overlook. And I will never down another product that works for somebody else because, we're all about just educating and finding something that works. And sometimes that's not always encompassed by the stuff that we do, but I do like to educate people on what ingredients are important to look for and what ingredients are important to make sure you stay away from. And when you hit on soy lecithin and xanthine gum and the fact that, those binders and ingredients and artificial colors and sweeteners are in other products, when people actually start to educate themselves on that, they start to realize the difference in Shakeology and everything else. So, and one that I recently looked up myself was an Isogenics protein shake, and oh my God. So anyways, there's that. So the big thing about Shay's talk on one YouTube is that she talks about the diet cycle. So I tell everybody that little blurb. I could talk about the details of everything else that goes in Shakeology forever, but just giving them that little blurb, because you start throwing out crazy words like phytonutrients and stuff, and nobody's going to know what you're talking about unless it's somebody that like is a nutritionist or they really want to know.
Yeah. So they've been doing a lot of research for a lot of years. I didn't know what phytonutrients was, and I was a huge nutrition geek.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell is a phytonutrient?
And so she talks about the diet cycle, and this is a way that really hits home to everybody, that people will start a diet and they'll cut themselves down to like 1,200, 1,500 calories, and
they'll deprive.
And then, you know what? And then they're like so excited that they're starting this new thing that they want to like add in the fitness. Okay. And that's great. But you're like a week into this and, 10 days into this, and oh my God, your body is so nutrient deficient because you haven't been giving it any fuel. And people are going to the gym for an hour, and oh my God, maybe Friday they went for a 2 a day, and they're tired and they don't have the energy to make it through their workouts, and their muscles are sore. And now what happens? And she gives this exact scenario in that call is, you go out with your friends and you've been really good eating, but oh my God, you feel like crap. You're having all these cravings. Why? Because you're nutrient deficient, because you haven't been fueling your body. And you say, you know what? I deserve this. I'm craving this. I've been working hard. And you have the nachos at B-Dubs with the extra tall blue moon in your orange slice. And then you're completely off track, and you go downhill from there, and you never come back from it. And you keep working this diet cycle because you're not giving your body proper nutrition. So I think the biggest thing with that is telling people that Shakeology is not like a weight loss miracle. It's not gonna just like cure things and make you lose inches and make you lose pounds. Nobody is ever claiming that, but they are claiming that it's nutrient dense. It's a shake that you can have every day as a meal replacement or a snack replacement, and it's going to prevent you from going into that nutrient deficient stage and help you stay on track. It's going to help you knock those cravings. You're going to be able to ditch your multivitamin that, you're going to be able to not have to worry about taking your extra pre and probiotics because they're already in Shakeology. So, people are going to start noticing. And, I don't like selling people just like 1 or 2 Shakeology packets unless they really, truly just want to try the flavor. Because they're never going to get the full benefits of Shakeology unless they try it for at least a week to 10 days. Because until they start having that consistent nutrition in their body, those consistent vitamins and minerals and everything, they're not going to get the full effect. So they're going to try it and think that, the skies are going to open up and they're going to get on the scale the next morning and it's not going to happen because it's going to take at least a week for them to start feeling better and noticing a difference in everything. So
yeah, and that's going to be huge for you, Mickey, because I know you've had a ton of people ask for samples to try it. So make sure you're emphasizing, because she works in, is it a warehouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's got a lot of people coming to her from different departments and saying, hey, I want to try this or that. Yeah, I see it. World Market, love it, by the way.
Yes.
I do love World Market.
Oh my God, that place. I could
so much.
be in there
but do you get a discount there? So jealous.
And Bed Bath & Beyond.
Oh, man.
Better than that 20% coupon too, I'm sure.
Better than the 20% coupon, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I do have a 30.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so that's going to be really important to you to stress, hey, if you're going to try Shakeology, totally down to let you try a sample or 2 just to try a couple of different flavors. But if you really want to try Shakeology to see if it's going to help you, try at least 5 to 7 days. I don't give anybody less than a 5-day supply unless they just want to try the new flavor that came out.
And I think a big thing too as a new coach is sometimes you don't always have that extra $90 to keep buying a bunch of samples. So, we have that 7-day sampler pack that has all 7 flavors. So, that's a good way to kind of direct them to make their free sign in. And then, direct them to get that sampler pack. And that way it's $35. And, that way they, are already kind of familiar with the website. That way. And then another good way is people are so scared of ordering the big bag or ordering the big box of packets, but really understanding and explaining to them that there is a 30-day money back guarantee. Even if they jump in and go with a whole bag of chocolate and they're not really feeling it, they can call and switch it to a bag of vanilla, no penalty, no, they'll send them the shipping label. They'll take care of all of it. So, we as coaches can send them to the link to live chat. I know a lot of people don't like getting on the phone. Live chat works great, and they're available 24/7. Sometimes I have better luck than that than using the phone. So, that's all you have to tell people, and that's all I tell people too that are trying to decide between Shakeology HD and the one-time shipment. One, it's the difference in $2 shipping and $15 shipping. Is explaining that they can change, they can modify their flavor, they can push that ship date back anytime that they want to, and they only have to pay for their Shakeology when they're ready for it to ship. Obviously stressing the importance of having a shake every day, is going to make sure that they, they're going to need it every 30 days. But sometimes, people go on vacation and don't take it with them or whatever the case might be. But that live chat option just kind of makes people feel a little bit more comfortable that they have control of the situation. And it's not just going to auto ship. They can control it if they want to. So, making sure people don't spaz about that is important. That way, that way you're not missing out on your Success Club points, because that's huge. Somebody that orders a one-time shipment is going to pay a lot more money, and then you're going to lose out too. So.
And so I guess we've covered Shakeology and how important it is. What's also super important is to not just be knowledgeable, but people are going to, if you can't explain why they need it, you're not going to convince them just to get the workout. So you're not going to get your Success Club points if you can't help them understand why it's going to help them. And the only way to help them understand is to A, be educated on it, and B, believe in it. And the only way to believe in it is by drinking it every single day. And I'm not talking about drinking it a couple of days here and there and then skipping a few days. I had a coach go inactive because she had too much Shakeology. I'm like, how do you have too much Shakeology? If you're only getting one bag a month, there's 30 days in a month. So if you're drinking it every day, you should be like, it should be perfect. By the time it gets there, you should be like down to like 1 or 2 shakes. Maybe you skipped a day here and there, like, but if you're not drinking it at least like 6 days a week, like you're not going to feel the effects the same that you would if you're only drinking it once or twice a week. It's not going to help you. It's going to be great. It's going to be better than you eating McDonald's, that day. Say you only, say that's the one day that week you drank it. It's still going to help you avoid McDonald's, but it's not going to give you that energy, long sustainable energy boost. It's not going to be, it's like like she said, it's like your multivitamin. Like if you're not taking it every single day, your body gets very nutrient, like the modern diet is so nutrient deficient. Even if you're eating all fruits and vegetables and meat every day, what people don't understand is, and that's something I've done a lot of research on, is like modern farming techniques and pesticides in our soil. Even if a farm is labeled as an organic farm, it doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't covered with pesticides in the past. Like the soil, once there's pesticides that are laid on the ground, they're there forever. They get down into the dirt and it doesn't go away. It's not like the rain just washes all these chemicals away. It does wash some of them away, but the point is like it's degrading our soil over time. So our soil is creating our vegetables. It's growing our vegetables, making our vegetables have less nutrient content in than they had in 100 years ago, if that makes sense. So our soil is nutrient deficient. Therefore, the food that our soil grows is nutrient deficient. So the food that we're eating now, it might be the same strain of eggplant or tomato or cucumber or whatever that we were eating 100 years ago, the same, family line of seeds, but it doesn't have the same value that it had 100 years ago. So even if you were eating the perfect diet of all your servings of greens and vegetables and everything like that, your body's still not going to get everything that it needs to operate the way that it should. We're not meant to be sick. We're not meant to be sick all the time and, fighting off infections and stuff like that. Our bodies are meant to get a little cold here and there, fight it off pretty quick and be done. And that's been the biggest thing for me, has been overall health. And
Hey, don't you say
hi. How are you? But yeah, so I'm just an overall healthier person and happier, and I don't have $6,000 in medical bills because that's what I had the year before last, $6,000 in medical bills. So I don't have that anymore. So that's great. And
the Shakeology podcast, have you been able to find that at all? Does she know what I'm talking about?
Hey, Mickey, have you? Do you have podcasts? Do you have an iPhone?
I have Android.
Okay, I don't know. I'm sure they have a podcast app for Android, but I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, so that's your homework, to see if you have a podcast app on your phone.
Like you can find it in the Android market, I think. Like look for podcasts.
And so your national wake up calls are recorded on the podcast app. It's under Team Beachbody. There's also Team Beachbody podcast, and then there's Shakeology podcast. And a lot of them are co-hosted by the creative Shakeology, Darren Oline. So he goes into some awesome stuff. Just in like a lot of stuff that you're gonna get questions about on a daily basis. Can I drink Shakeology while I'm pregnant? Can I drink Shakeology while I'm breastfeeding? Does Shakeology have soy in it? Does Shakeology have artificial this in it? What's the difference in vegan and regular Shakeology? Like they go through all of that, and they are fantastic. Like
why is it so expensive?
Right. I had somebody tell me yesterday, I tried that Shakeology a long time ago, but it's so high calorie. And I'm like, what?
What?
High calorie? It's like 140 to 160 calories a serving. Like, I was like, you could not pack in the best salad that you could possibly ever make, add your vitamins in, add your pre and probiotics, and get it under
140 calories. Yeah.
And I was like, where are you getting this high calorie? And she never responded about that. She ended up just talking to me about doing a program.
Like, oh, well, I put a tub of peanut butter in mine.
That's another thing, too, is you have people try Shakeology. You want to make sure you really tell them how to make it. No cow's milk. Make sure they're not adding too much fruit or too much additives, because they're going to add they're going to add too much stuff to it, and it's going to take away from the benefits of Shakeology, you know. And then if you have somebody that doesn't like it, you know, more often than not, you're going to be like, well, how did you make it? Oh, I just shook it up with water. And you're like, oh, there's your first problem. You know, I mean, and sometimes I do.
Hey, I drink mine with water, and I freaking love it.
Well, I mean, you just like shake it up with water.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll do it every now and then, but it's not my favorite. Like, and especially when I started, that was not how I drank it. Like,
that's not how I tell people to start out with it. That's what I ease people into later if they're trying to cut a container out.
Yeah, like a fruit out or if they want.
Or because almond milk's technically a container. It's technically a yellow, which doesn't make sense.
No, they cut that out. Like,
they did? Oh, okay.
No. Update yourself.
Mickey's like, yeah. That's not a container.
That unsweet almond milk is free.
Well, why did they have it as a container in the first place? I thought that was so stupid. I never counted it.
Yeah, I didn't. I think it still will say it in the book, but the update is that. And I don't know if any of you all saw, but Autumn Calabrese did say that she does count can bars in her 21-day fix, but she doesn't recommend it for your first round of 21-day fix. Like, she wants you to do it to the T, but I think she said she counts it as a blue and an orange. So, you know, just if anybody's like, I can't get rid of it, like, or I need something, like, you know, a Kind bar, because the ingredient, I'm like, not the Kind Plus. The Kind Plus bars tend to have a lot more stuff in them, but the basic Kind bars tend to be just like the nuts and like some organic honey or something like that, and you can count those. So,
so I just wanted to like talk a little bit about challenge groups and preparing for those because this is the first month I've decided my calendar got so overwhelming and it was working so good for me in the beginning. So I've decided that every 3 months I'm going to skip altogether my free clean eating group at the beginning of the month that I usually have the first week of every month. And then on the 4th month, I'm just going to do a group open to everyone, but limit it to 100 people and then suggest this is what they get. And then everyone gets to participate. And then I get my challenge group. But if you're planning your challenge groups out in advance, like get a calendar, write it down when your challenge group dates are going to be. And then 2 weeks before the challenge group is supposed to start, you're going to have your first post about it. So you want to start posting about it on social media. This is not for free groups. This is for like your 21-day or 30-day long challenge groups. So you want to plan these groups out way in advance. And you want to start posting your call to actions, like, public invites to them, either creating a Facebook event. I like to create Facebook events and then have the cutoff end date for the event be the Wednesday before the group starts. So I do my last call for orders, like if they need a program and or Shakeology or whatever they're using, their cutoff date. So it creates a sense of urgency. Like you give them a deadline, people feel like they need to stick with it. So you always give them like like I told you, Mickey, like you said, you have a couple of people interested in signing up to coach. I said, give them to the end of the month. Tell them that you have a new coach training starting in May and you want to make sure they get signed up and ready to go. So say it doesn't happen on 4.
Besides the spouse.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And besides, one is trying to be just discount, but says that he wants to coach. But I don't know if he wants to be in the May. But I just got confirmation. It was either last night.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're blowing up, girl. And I'm going to need you to smile more and stop hiding behind your hand because you're gorgeous. So stop it. She's like, no. You're going to read that book and it's going to change your life. You are a badass. Okay?
It's awesome. Like, I was like, I'm not going to read personal development.
Casey didn't read personal development forever.
And I was like, January 1st, I'm like, nope, doing it. Just like sucking it up, doing it. If I hate it, I'll stop it, whatever. And like, I could not stop listening to that book. And I don't even know how many I've done since then, but it does. It just makes you, it makes you think different. It makes you think really different, you know, just gets you outside of your box that you don't think you can get outside of. You start looking at things in a different way, and not just Beachbody, just like how you go about your everyday life, how you do stuff at work, how you approach people, how you react to situations, how you respond to people when they send you a message. Like, you know, I don't know. It just,
it fixes you. It fixes you. Just put it in.
And like, I feel like I want to be Oprah now. Like, I want to have all these personal development books. I'm like, you get a personal development book.
You get a book.
And you've got a bad attitude, and you're getting one. Like,
every time I meet someone, I'm like, "Are you reading personal development books? Oh, you're not? Oh, your life must really suck."
Like, make it rain, PD. Like,
yeah, because even if like the shit is coming down on you, like life is like just your.
Like, I have this quote from this one book that I read, and I don't know how many times in the last 2 days I've told somebody to eat that frog.
Eat that fucking frog, man. Eat that frog. Eat that frog's a good one. But I think Mickey needs a giant dose of You Are a Badass.
Yeah.
Get that book. Tell me you're going to get it. Audio.
There's a Living Social that's $9 that is 3 months of Audible. 3 months. So that's like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 books worth.
Do you have Audible? I mean, Living Social, Mickey?
I'd have to look.
It's an app. You can download it, or you can go to their website, and they sell an audible.com, like Groupon or coupon or whatever, where you can get 3 books for $9.
They're audiobook. They're awesome.
Audio books.
Jen Sincero, the author of You Are a Badass, she narrates that book herself. So it kind of adds a little bit to it, I think she does, than like, you know, just reading it. I mean, it'd be great. I mean, I kind of want to get the book too, just so I can like write all over it and dog ear every single thing in the book. But
yeah, I've been thinking about that too. But the point about like the really cool thing about coaching is it doesn't freaking matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your age, your race, your background, how loud your dogs are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you fucked up in life before. Like, because I am a college dropout and a beauty school dropout, and Ryan's a beer school dropout, and I'm all these failures in life. I had all these big dreams as a kid, and I just was terrified of being ordinary. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know. Just didn't want to be normal. I didn't want to be the 9 to 5. I always knew that wasn't me. I always knew that the desk job thing was not going to be me, and it's not for me. And I always knew I was meant for something better and bigger. The thing with coaching is it doesn't matter how much school you went to. You get an opportunity to educate yourself on how to do this because it's your business. So Mickey does a really good job of actively searching out information herself. If she doesn't know like how to do something, she goes and Googles it or looks at a YouTube video or watches it herself. And she's very self-efficient in that way. And like, it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. It doesn't matter where you come from. Like, anybody can be good at this if you have a willingness to go learn how to do it and just find the info. Just search for it. It's out there. So yeah, so plan your groups in advance. Start posting 2 weeks ahead of time about you're promoting your next group. So if you're going to have another group maybe in May, you want to post about it 2 weeks before, or say you want to do one in the beginning of June, whenever that is, post about it 2 weeks before, and then give people the Wednesday before. So 5 days before it starts, tell them final call, last cutoff. And then, yeah. So I guess we're about to get cut off. Do you have any questions, Mickey, before we get off here?
Not right now, but I can probably go with you later or something.
You're good, girl. I appreciate you.
And make sure you show her how to get all those fancy coaches she's going to have in her left and right legs right.
I know. We're going to get you situated. Rock them out. All right. Well, Casey, thank you for hosting our call and recording our call.
I know it's so nice out. I wonder if everybody's outside and not on this call.
And say bye to my friend Zika.
Bye.
Bye, little Zika.
All right, I'll send out this recording later on tonight for you all.
Okay, thanks. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.